Well, another dark log again. It's November 3rd, 2025 for a Monday. And it's 1:26 in the morning, boys and girls on the West Coast. The zombie Weaver, John C. of Roseman, California, who does the diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me. Yeah, enough of that. I do the dark logs to keep track of my dog, if she's stirring or not. She's barely stirring these days, but surviving. Today is supposed to be a federal decision day coming up. That either we're going to get a little bit of EBT for this month or not. Or we're going to be getting it for December. Because it is shut down, I'll blame both sides on this one. The Democrats have been trying hard enough but not hard enough to really locate where their counterparts were hiding. Even the counterparts were staying the hell away from the damn offices. Staying home or something like that. Taking a vacation because Johnson doesn't want it. Johnson is trying to follow Trump like crazy. And keeping people hungry. A weapon. A weapon to be used in politics. This is the most corrupt, screwed up government I'd personally ever been living through. And I'll blame both sides for it. And I blame the voters for it. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of blame to point the fingers at. But there's no solutions unless these guys get their ass together and work on something in Congress. But apparently the votes they keep trying to do in Congress, trying to end the shutdown, fail spectacularly in the GOP. They don't want to talk to the Democrats. They don't want to get an extra hand in there. There's supposed to have been an Arizona representative supposed to have been sworn in. Never did. So now she's got to go through the court system to get her sworn in. The court systems. Johnson doesn't want to do it. And Cory Booker is still saying, well, see, these guys, it's their fault all the time. Yeah, well, it's also your fault too. But they won't accept the responsibility, accountability, or transparency. None of them do. So yeah, we have a very dysfunctional Congress and a very dysfunctional president. He doesn't want to get himself involved. He said so himself on a 60 Minutes interview with Laura O'Donnell. Yeah. Miss O'Donnell on 60 Minutes. And she did just a one-on-one interview with a gas bag. He still lied his ass off. So we got a government that just doesn't give a shit about its people. And not to mention the, I'm wondering, trying to get rid of these damn bugs. I hope, but I'm not holding out much hope. I pray, and I'm hoping the prayers are listened to, that we get our food stamps back, that we can actually use them, that we can actually go for survival. But I'm hoping and praying that we get our jobs back out there who've lost them because of the stupidity happening. When we got into the shutdown, Trump says, oh, I'm going to fire people. I'm going to lay them off. Instead of putting them on furlough, he'd lay them off. Except very important special people. Yeah, right. Keep working them as slaves without compensation. Air traffic controllers are one of them. Emergency services and security are another. Of course, they had to scrape up money somewhere from the Pentagon budget to pay for the soldiers who are still patrolling the streets. ICE agents, well, they're extensive. I mean, ICE agents have their own budget, and they're not affected, and they're still going out there to terrorize people. And we still have crowds out there trying to stop them. President wastes taxpayer money going on trips trying to secure his tariffs. He listens them in China. China screws him over one way or another. You know what he could have done is just flown over to Canada and talked with the Canadian Prime Minister or the ministers over there in general. Didn't. So trade with them and also relationships with Canadians are screwed. Thank you very much, Trump, and thank you very much, American voters, for voting this shit in the first place. None of the independents will say anything about it. Well, it's no, I blame the voters for the decisions because they were given a choice and they chose this shit, so I blame them for it. Just say it. Democracy is a 50-50 chance. Democracy is a flip of a coin. But we don't know the consequences after that flip of the coin until we go through the consequences. We can't blame the process in itself, but I blame the people for making the wrong-ass decisions on it because if we've already been told this guy is going to do something and he starts to doing it after he gets in office, we were warned, we didn't listen, we paid a price. And I blame them. Because they didn't listen, they were warned. The old stories that we keep coming across, the old anthologies, mythologies, metaphors, everything else we're using to describe this. You live in a valley, a lot of community, big community living in a valley, and your neighborhood hydroelectric plant is having cracks in the cement. The water pressure is breaking it for whatever reason. Maybe you had a recent earthquake in the valley. Everyone else is rattled by it. But now they hear that the dam is breaking. What do? Run. Where you run to? Up the hills. Get out of the valley. Run. But some people are like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Until the dam breaks. And then the water comes rushing through. Here comes reality check. Is that simple enough? When we have voting all the time, it's a 50-50 shot whether or not this thing's going to work or not. You have to get the information on both sides to make sure that the decision is correct. You can't just keep drinking the Kool-Aid and just be happy with it. It's like dealing with Jim Jones all over again back in the 1970s. He convinced a lot of his followers to come over to Guyana, French Guiana, and have his townmate of Jonestown. But he was getting so damn paranoid, he had armed guards with him. So he's going to take people to a paradise, right? No. He's going to take people to hell at this point over here. Gave him cyanide and Kool-Aid, and they drank it, and they died. Than him. But there was more to it than the story. You go through the cults, and they want absolute adoration because they're nuts. Waco, Texas, Heaven's Gate. I mean, we had these nut jobs out there trying to enclose people. Put it into the country that we have. We have nut jobs trying to make sure that you follow them, but they're going to get you so enticed and so enwrapped around their bullshit that they're willing to kill you in the process. I see that in our country, the United States of America. We have got that on a constant basis. We also have these little mini fiefdoms out there, either by government officials or by the religious nut jobs out there, who want you to believe in them, who believe this guy is an absolute saint, and you have to. Why? Because they say so. What, you can't violently say, fuck you? And the thing is with our government right now, they want that violent, fuck you. They want you to violently go against the federal government. To prove their point, you're dangerous. And therefore, they'll poke and prod, hijack your ass, slam you anywhere else, break your bones, almost break your body, or maybe kill you in the process. They want it so damn badly, they're willing to kill people over it. And the hard part is not responding to them in kind and saying, enough's enough. See, now we gotta do it. Now we gotta do insurrection law over here. Now we can take Posse Comitatus. This guy wants his ass kicked. No, you want your ass kicked. No, I don't. How long you been at this job? I don't care. I do. You've been in here a couple of weeks and already you think you know better? And what the fuck were you originally? Unemployed? You couldn't find a job anyway, so you had to find a job to bully people. And then prove the point that people are so damn violent, you have to go in and thump them. And you think you're kings and you're immune. We're immune because we were told by the White House. The White House don't know our ass for not rock. You don't have a lawyer telling you shit. You don't have any lawyers telling you shit. What's against the Constitution? Ah, fuck the Constitution. And that's why we rebel against you. That's why we rebel. You said fuck the Constitution. You guys swore to the Constitution? Or did you swore to the fearless leader? Because you're swearing to the fearless leader, you're a traitor. All of you are. And if I have to, I'll get a bunch of constitutions from Amazon, from Bezos, hand them out to the people and give them the option. Are you for the Constitution or not? And if you're not, you're a traitor. You're breaking the oath left and right. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. A little catchphrase in there. Well, you're a domestic enemy. So how do we deal with you guys? You want the violence. To prove that we're all violent and therefore you must have military law. And don't you understand? You're creating your own nightmare. You don't care. Your supervisors don't care. They want the power. They want the ego. They want their whatever they've got going fed. And you're feeding them. You're feeding it to them. They want the blood. They want the bloodshed. They want the body count. They want the hurt bodies. They want the pictures. They want everything. They want it on camera to satisfy their ego again and again and again and use it as publicity. And they're doing a very good job. Because they're getting more and more morons in there who don't know what the fuck they're doing, have no law enforcement experience, none. And if they did, they wouldn't be doing this shit. And how does the military feel about it? I mean, the actual military. I don't count Space Command. They're not military. They're Trumpian shit. I count the Coast Guard as part of the military, but they're also part of transportation. But they also said they're Homeland Security. Well, but the four corners that we got, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, how do they feel about it? How does the commanders down to the enlisted feel? To the non-coms? Is Trump higher than the United States Constitution? To the oath that they swore to protect the country and its people, not to mention the Constitution, the laws, the rules, everything else we hold sacred. Is Trump and his followers higher than that? Are they not the enemy? Are they not the domestic terrorism? And yet, there would be Kash Patel, the champion of whatever the hell he's leaving right now. I don't know if it's FBI or not. But he goes against kids. He sends his goon squad against kids. But they're getting indoctrinated. They're getting indoctrinated. We gotta stop. They're gonna be doing terrorist shit. Do you have any proof on this shit? Did you throw it up to the audience to find out? You don't understand. They're terrorisms. Great. So now we gotta watch about 13 and 14-year-olds, or even 12-year-olds playing games Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but did you happen to prove the shit? You see, we're supposed to be having a court of law. Innocent before proven guilty. We are not France a long time ago. Guilty before proven innocent. You have to prove you're innocent, otherwise you get beheaded. Do we want beheadings? Do we actually want beheadings in the United States of America? Shall we give them the blood necessary? And say this is necessary because these are violent people. And then we discover that the people that they killed were innocent people. United States citizens. People becoming citizens. They don't like birthright certificates, citizenships. They don't like it. They don't want it. They don't want the foreigner. They don't want the dark skin. They don't want the accents. What do we want? England coming over? England's not going to be doing it. Neither is Canada. No, but we'll get South Africa inside our country. With the whites only. With the foreign accents. We'll get guys like Elon Musk. They don't give a shit about anything. But their own selves. This is what we voted in, guys. They wanted the chaos. They got it. They wanted the anarchy. They got it. What do you do about it? That being said.